I'll never forget it. It was the spring of 2006, and I was the coordinator of basketball operations for the Marquette men's basketball team. And we had just lost to Alabama in the NCAA tournament. Steve Novak missed a shot in the corner that he would always make in his sleep, and we fast forward 30 days. The head coach, Tom Crean, was walking into the men's basketball office, and I was in the video editing room looking at some recruits, planning basketball camp, and doing some other administrative duties. And Coach Crean, with his flip phone, just stopped in and said, "Derek, I want you to give out an award tonight. The Hit the Deck Award for one of our players, Joe Chapman." And then Coach kind of just kept running on his flip phone, doing his thing. Little did Tom Crean know that I was deathly terrified of doing anything in front of a group. So what I did is I looked at our VHS wall of tapes, and I found, out of all things, not a basketball thing, I was looking for the men's basketball banquets. And I was trying to see what the coaches said when they gave out that award those previous 3 seasons. So I would fast forward and rewind, and I would find that exact moment, memorized it word for about 12 hours that day with just ridiculous anxiety. And I actually wrote everything down and put it in my pocket. The men's basketball banquet came that night, and it was 7:52 p.m. sharp. My name gets called up to the front. If you'd have hugged me, you would have felt like I had just got out of the shower. I remember taking a break before that moment and going in the bathroom and literally throwing up. I had pigeons in my chest, not butterflies. And when I was about to give that award, I completely froze. I just looked down and shook my head. I had like a death grip on the podium, and I just said, "And the award goes to Joe Chapman." I turned to Joe, I looked back down, and I walked back to my table of peers, and I wanted to crawl in a hole and never see them again. For me, it was my deepest crash professionally. And I want you to think about, what is your deepest crash professionally? Who are you with? What were you doing? Where were you? Why did it happen? And how did it happen? And the cool part is that your best life or fulfillment can just be on the other side of that crash, if you make the decision to overcome it and do it afraid. And Coach Crean gave me about a week before he said anything, because I knew I messed up. He didn't need to tell me that. And he just said, "Hey, Derek, remember last week?" I'm like, "Yeah, I remember last week." He said, "You have a choice to make. You can choose the easy path or the hard path. You can choose the easy path and not confront groups ever again and never fulfill your dream of becoming a head coach. And that easy path will probably be an unfulfilling path. Or you could take the hard path, confront groups, get in front of a crowd, do it afraid, and overcome it. And that hard path will probably be the more fulfilling path. The choices you make you. Life is what you do in the painful moments."